Hello and welcome to this episode of Park Views with Brad Hughes. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Views with Hughes. That's Hughes. You can also check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Daily Disney Blog. Please rate and review the show on iTunes and Stitcher. And you can also comment over on Libsyn. With all that being said, thank you for downloading this episode, and I hope you enjoy the show. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Park Views with Brad Hughes. Today on this episode, we are going to be going over everything that just got announced at the D23 panel. We're going to start from the top, go all the way down to the bottom. But before we jump into the actual story here, reminder, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opens in Orlando in just a few short days, and we are going to be there doing a live podcast and live streaming and everything else. So if you're there, which I know you are because I talked to a bunch of you guys on Twitter, come by, say hi. I want to get your reactions to Galaxy's Edge and have you on the show. So follow me on Twitter for location details and stuff like that once I get into the land and gets actually set up. But today on this, to help me cover all this, because I've been glued to my laptop for the last 3 days covering D23 coverage for Inside the Magic, is the one and only Holly Roos. Holly, what's up, kid?
Hello.
It's been a crazy 3 days. It's not even over yet, but like the big stuff is over. So
it's nice to see you look up from your laptop for a moment.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I've literally been glued to this thing for the last 3 days. Okay. Before we get into anything specific, I kind of want to get your overall impression of the panel. I don't want to hear a favorite thing or least favorite thing. We'll get to that at the very end. But what did you think of the D23 Expo? Or the panel?
I was honestly a little underwhelmed, and I thought I was alone in that opinion. But after you and I both scrolling through Twitter, that seems to kind of be the general consensus. There was a big focus on music, which I'm not really big into per se. You thought it was pretty cool, but there were certain parts that they clearly dragged on for lack of content to fill time.
Yeah, we'll get to that stuff too. I was a little underwhelmed as well. I feel like it's the Last Jedi of panels, where some people loved it, some people hated it. I loved it. I thought it was interesting. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was anything groundbreaking. Everything that I saw, with the exception of a few small things, we saw coming. But there's one thing in particular that I knew was coming, but was surprised on the execution of it, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah, it's something pretty major. So the panel started out, it was hosted by Bob Chapek, and it was called Sneak Peek Disney Parks, Resorts, and Experiences, hosted by Bob Chapek, who was the head of the vice president, whatever it's called, the head of that division of the Walt Disney Company. And he came out and started off talking about Star Wars. So of course I was like, yes, talking about how much Galaxy's Edge is awesome. He said he's going to be at Star Wars Celebration. It's Star Wars opening day at Walt Disney World. So hopefully get another photo with him. Because despite what the internet thinks about him, he's actually a really nice guy. So, yeah. So they started talking about that, and then they showed a clip, the never before seen clip of Rise of the Resistance, and holy
chills.
Crap!
And I'm not a big Star Wars fan, and that gave me chills.
I was in tears on the couch.
Yep.
I started crying. I was like, oh my God! Like, if you haven't seen it yet, it is on my Twitter. Go look at it. It is
incredible,
believable. And it's one of those things too, when you're watching it, remember, they took footage of this inside the attraction. This is not something that is a artist rendering or a CGI thing. It is completely real and in that environment, and it's unbelievable. The lightsaber thing
cuts the ceiling, or we couldn't tell if it was from.
It's got to be from above.
It looks like somebody's trying to get through.
But who would be holding that lightsaber?
I don't know.
And I think it's coming from above, because it looks like maybe he's like above you chasing you, and he like and he sticks it in the ground. And he kind of comes down there, and then he like falls through or something.
How do they do that? And it looks so real.
It looks like a freaking real lightsaber you see in the film, not like a lightsaber you buy at Savi's workshop. It looks like a real lightsaber. I don't know. I'm wondering. Remember a while ago we saw that patent for like the fog emitter thing in lightsabers, and we thought it was going to be.
Just gonna say that.
And we thought it was going to be the ones at Savi's, but it turned out not to be. I think it might have been that
interactive lightsaber throughout the land that didn't happen.
Yeah, I wish that would have happened. It's gonna be hard to do. Maybe
down the road.
Lightsaber. Who knows? But that was unbelievable. They showed like people in the Millennium Falcon. It just made me really excited.
Wait, what do you call it?
Oh yeah, they show Weimar. Mm-hmm. See, this is why I think people were jumping the gun on their opinions of Galaxy's Edge. Is like, what's the story? You're gonna get the story to the land in this attraction, and I get that it feels weird for some people who don't know, but I know who Weimarati is.
See,
because
I
of the
was like,
books.
what the heck is this girl doing around the land when you have big characters like Rey and Chewie and Kylo Ren, and then this random person?
If that what they showed is actually how it's gonna look, that means we have
What is her part in the
hologram
books?
technology.
What is her part in the books?
She's one of Leia's right hand spies, and in
Okay.
the Phasma book, she gets captured by a character named the Cardinal, and she has like intel on Phasma, and he's trying to get information from her because he is like jealous of Phasma's rising of the ranks above him.
Okay.
And he, for a while, the Cardinal, who's all red stormtrooper before the Sith troopers, he was an all red, and he was the only one who had the distinction of a different colored armor.
So
and so
she
then
would
when
fit
when Phasma came in, he got jealous, and he's like, "We need to end her career." And the book
Oh.
ends crazy. I think you know the ending.
This is the Phasma book?
Yeah.
Yes, that I read partially to you.
Yes, you did. But it's an interesting dynamic because she's giving information about the First Order to a First Order officer while she's been kidnapped. But they're teaming up because he wants to take her down, and ultimately that doesn't happen. Obviously, not a spoiler because she's in the movies, and it takes place way before that. But it's a very interesting book for that part. The middle parts, I wish they would just do a story of like
That book was a struggle.
it was a struggle. It was a struggle to get through, but it was just the parts of Phasma that I wasn't interested in because they're just repetitive stories. Like there's no development. It's just Phasma's a warrior. She'll do anything to get where she wants to be. That's it, over and over and over again. But the stuff with Vimerati and the Cardinal's fantastic. Some of my favorite stuff in Star Wars books. 100%.
Does she ever interact with the characters we know that are going to be on the ride, like Poe and
I guess
Finn
we'll see.
and-
I guess we will see.
Do you think that's
but I'm blown away if that is really what it looks like. That means we have holograms.
Yeah.
They have hologram technology.
And that
That's
looks
insane.
so real.
It looks insane. Go watch this.
It looked like the pre-show room, kind of like before you go on the mission.
That lightsaber is just that image is ingrained in my head now. And we only got a few months. We got less than 4 months. I'm gonna freak out on that attraction.
Yep. How long is it supposed to be? Isn't it supposed to be like a 10, 12-minute experience?
Remember the blogs that were like, it's 30 minutes. It's not a 30-minute experience. It might be 30 minutes from when you get on. Like, okay,
Yeah.
think about Gringotts. Gringotts is like, the ride itself is like 5 minutes.
But
3
it's
minutes.
probably a 20-minute experience from the elevator.
Getting on your photo taken,
Right.
getting into the elevator. If you count the entire experience of like getting on the ship and then being taken
Right.
up to the Star Destroyer and then being captured, how long you're captured, that could be. I think it's probably 10 minutes. That's my guess.
That's
a long time.
Yeah.
10 minutes is a long time. Like the Falcon ride seems long, and it's like 4 minutes.
I think that's why this seemed so underwhelming, because last time it was like Galaxy's Edge. Like we knew nothing about Rise of the Resistance at that point. There was so much, but I expected more about the 50th at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, I thought for sure they were going to announce
Because there's not going to be another
parade
D23
or
before then,
something.
right?
Yeah, no.
Is there next year or no?
No, the 50th is 2021, right? So they
Right.
could do one before.
Or are they going to kick the 50th off in October, like it would actually be the 50th, or are they going to start it in January of 21?
If they, that's a good point. I think they should do one that's focused primarily on the 50th anniversary.
Because really, they just unveiled the logo for the 50th, which I like that.
I really
that
like
was
the logo.
snazzy.
It's really cool.
But that was it, and kind of like, we're working on Tron.
They didn't even mention Tron.
Just that they had the costumes on the expo and the ride vehicle, which we knew from Shanghai.
Yeah, I think that's
Do you think it'll be kind of a separate press conference at some point
for Tron.
for the 50th?
Yeah, I think so. The Rise of the Resistance stuff is awesome. I think people were expecting to see a lot more of it. I think I'm good.
I feel like it would spoil it if we saw more of it.
I think I'm good. There is that special that's coming out in September. I might have you watch it first because
Okay.
you're not going to care as much as I am, and if it ruins it,
Like we do
then-
with the trailers.
Yeah, because I don't want to see too much. I want
Okay.
to kind of go in blind. But that's scheduled to be in September, and it's hosted by Neil Patrick Harris. So,
Yep.
pretty cool. So then Bob Chapek switched over to Disneyland parks and started talking about the stuff that's going to be happening over at Disneyland. And they unveiled a new parade.
Did they currently have a
called-
daytime parade or just
Yeah,
the
they do.
nighttime? They do.
They do a new parade over at Disneyland called Magic Happens, and this is where. Okay, first off, let's talk about.
Not a fan of
talk
the
about
name.
Magic Happens is not a bad name in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's great, but I don't think it's horrible. I think it's somewhere in the middle. I do not like Sorcerer Mickey with like the purple. Did you see the logo?
Yeah, yeah.
I hated that costume. I think that costume looks terrible. I don't like it at all. I don't care about parades that much, honestly, except at nighttime
But
ones.
why are they getting so many more? We talked about this during the panel. How come seems like they've cycled through so many parades when we're here just with still Festival of Fantasy, no nighttime parade? Is it easier over there?
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I've never worked at Disneyland.
I've never
I
watched
have
a
no
parade
clue.
over there.
But the floats are interesting choices. It's going to have Moana, Coco, Sleeping Beauty, all led by Mickey and the gang. And some of the floats design look really, really good. So yeah, that's interesting. I'm just kind of scrolling through here because I'm looking at all the stuff that we posted.
I'm excited to see the Main Street Electrical Parade next month.
Yes, me too. And then Jordan, what's his name? I'll say Jordan Sparks.
I want to say Beale, but I know it's not. From the director of Us.
I forget his name. Jordan Sparks? No, that's not it. Jordan.
Sorry, Jordan. I honestly don't know.
Why can't I remember this kid's name? Why is this group chat not scrolling through either? This is just horrible. This is awful.
I'm getting there. Jordan Fisher.
Jordan Fisher, there he is. Came out and did like some music from the parade. The music was fine.
Snazzy.
This musical stuff is like, it's hard to tell what you're gonna get with it because you're not seeing it with the imagery. You're just getting the song.
Right.
Like, although Happily Ever After is a great song, fireworks are not. I don't know. Parade's a little different because you're timing it to all of the action you're seeing in the street. And then we're gonna move on. You know what? This is not working. Can you pull up a thing real quick? All right, sorry about that. I was using a group chat and it wasn't scrolling the right way and it kept bringing me down to the bottom. So we're gonna switch gears here. We're still gonna try to go relatively in order. If it's not exactly in order, I apologize. If you really care that much about it being in order, go back and go either watch the panel or scroll through my Twitter feed in reverse and you'll see everything they got announced. The next thing that they announced is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. We finally got some announcements on this. They showed... Okay, so I'm a little confused about what they showed because we know it's coming to Disneyland. We know it's coming here. It's coming here next year. They didn't say when.
What's the theater called at Disneyland?
I'll get to it. But so was the stuff they showed, was it one for Disneyland and then one for here?
They showed the outside for Disneyland,
that's
and
outside
then
for
they
Disneyland.
showed images inside the attraction here.
Okay,
with the Imagineer
that wasn't
working.
explained very well. Okay, it may have been explained very well. Let me preface this by saying I was in my laptop the entire time. I was kind of
Yes.
watching and doing this at the same time.
No, they
so.
were showing Imagineers working on the show scenes, which that's the first inside look we've really had of the ride.
Yes. The one at Disneyland will take place at the El Capitan Theater.
There you go.
Which I like. And where Mickey and Minnie are premiering their newest short, Perfect Picnic.
It's going to
Before
fit
you enter
in
the
so
cinema,
well.
you're going to experience a special exhibit created by the Toontown Hysterical Society featuring costumes and props from the Toon World. Looks
Where is
great.
that going in Toontown? Like when you
There's
walk
no announcement.
in.
Who knows? They also unveiled what it's going to look like at Hollywood Studios. Do you like this?
Love it. It looks like they're premiering like a movie at the Chinese theater.
Yeah, I feel like it might be a little over the top. I feel like they should just put.
Is that neon sign actually going in the middle?
That's what.
But that's where like the statues. There's like a statue of the little old guy that looks like Mulan's dad in there.
Well, it's racist. No, it looks like it's going right in the middle. If that concept art is how it's going to be, it looks like it's going to be right in the middle. That might stick out a little bit. Well,
I like it.
I say that, but they were great movie ride neon signs.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll look great.
Is there? Do they show signs on either side like Great Movie Ride had?
No, it's just that.
Oh.
But I'm really, really excited about it. Short of Galaxy's Edge. Oh my God.
They didn't give any more
Did you see
information
this?
on the opening day either. Which
No, they did not.
I was surprised.
Did you see that art? That's her standing in the attraction.
Yes,
that
that's
looks
what I said.
amazing. Wow. I didn't see this picture. It shows an Imagineer working on the project, standing
Still
in the
wearing a
middle
hard
of
hat.
the thing, wearing a hard hat. So it's
Not
still
that
under
ready.
construction. Very, very, very interesting. That is my second favorite attraction I'm looking forward to the most. They also touched on some overseas stuff, which we're not going to really get to because it doesn't really pertain to the U.S. parks. They elaborated some on Zootopia. They also said that Frozen Ever After is going to be going to... Is that Paris? Hong Kong? Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Is it Hong Kong?
The exact
Hong Kong
same
Disneyland.
ride that we have.
The exact same ride here is going to be going there, but there's going to be another ride called Wandering Oaken Sliding Sleighs. It looks to me like Seven Dwarfs Mine
It's like
Train.
Mine Train.
But you know, it looks cool. So yeah, I'm not going to Hong Kong anytime soon, so I don't know how that's going to work. Then I might be getting my timeline off here a little bit. Then they brought up the Cirque du Soleil stuff at Disney Springs. It's going to be featuring Disney animation, which is really, really cool.
Way too much time on that.
Way too much time. They've spent too much time on the Jordan Fisher stuff too. I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't like And here he is. It feels like the Grammys. It just and here's Bob Taylor's like, and here's Jordan. It didn't sound like this at all. Here's Jordan Fisher to premiere the debut of the Magical Gatherings. What's it called?
Magic Happens.
Magic Happens parade music. Jordan Fisher, come on out. He's like, thanks D23, and he's like dancing like he's Michael Jackson or Neo or something.
Trying to be.
Oh God, it's rough. It's just embarrassing for everyone involved.
People are not there to see that.
And then. This is something that is blowing up the internet, and this surprised me so much. Like, I had no idea people cared about this. This is so stupid to me.
You're not a girl. You don't get it.
I don't think you have to be a girl, but like, it looks lame. It sounds dumb. I don't care about this at all. I guess maybe because we live right here.
But I'm not interested in them closing down Disney stores like they have been to put a little section in Target. I'm not on board with that.
Well, I was getting to the announcement. You keep jumping ahead. Stop doing that. Let me get to it first. So the Target and Disney announcement came out, and they brought the CEO of Target out and had like another thing with the dog, and they gave out gift cards to everyone in the group. But then they showed like concept art for like the pop-up store inside of Target. That's the Disney store now. It looks so stupid. You think differently, right?
I think it looks stupid. But I'm excited for a Target on Disney property at Walt Disney World.
That's something no one's talking about. They said there's going to be a Target on Disney World property.
Which I'm thinking Crossroads.
Crossroads. Why can't I?
Where we go to On the Border, Buffalo Wild Wings. Where else are they going to have the space for a Target?
But that's not Walt Disney World property, though.
It will be. They bought it.
Oh, that's
right. That's closing down for them.
That's right. I bet you're right. Mm-hmm. That is, because that would be perfect. Because you have all those guests that are going to be right there on that Hotel Boulevard area. Man, yeah, that makes sense. Huh. Yeah, I didn't consider that. Yeah, that sounds, I just don't care.
We don't need it on property. We have 37 within a 5-mile range.
But the thing too, like if you're going to be staying at that area anyway, couldn't you just go to Disney Springs and do this? Like, I think it makes sense for people across the country. I don't think it makes sense here. Doesn't do anything. I mean, like you could go to the World Disney Store.
You live in Kansas and that'll be exciting for your Target to have a Disney section.
I guess, but it just seems unnecessary, and it's not for me, and that's totally fine. It's one of those things where it's like, it's not meant for me. There's plenty of stuff that is meant for me. Galaxy's Edge, Rise of Resistance. Then they also touched over on the Disney's Hotel New York, the Art of Marvel, over at Disneyland Paris. Interesting.
What'd they really say about that? Anything?
Nothing. But it's going to be opening next summer. It's one of those things where it's like there are going to be rooms themed to Spider-Man, but it's going to be the same thing they do at Disneyland Hotel with those like character suites.
They're redoing a hotel over there for this, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm actually surprised they haven't redone Paradise Pier yet.
I bet it's coming. I bet you money it's coming.
Like how easy would that be to do a Pixar Pier hotel?
I think they should redo it to do this New York thing.
They also
for
didn't
Avengers,
touch
it's going to go to DCA.
They also didn't touch on the Incredibles rooms they're testing at the Contemporary.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Did I?
I don't know.
Oh well. I think if they were going to do anything to Paradise Pier, they should just make it a Marvel hotel.
Yeah,
because you're going to be
connected
to DCA.
It's like the bare bones are there. Just theme it.
Just theme it. Just put Spider-Man on the wall, and you can charge more. And then they announced some more stuff about the Avengers campus, which we got the name for the other day, which was interesting and a little bit different than what has been touted around. There's going to be 2 phases to this, which I love.
A lot more grandeur than we saw.
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting here going, it's not going to be like Galaxy's Edge, that level of theming, but it looks like it's going to be. Especially with that second attraction that we'll get to in a second. You're going to be able to do something called PIM Test Kitchen, where you're going to be able to grow and shrink food, which I have no idea what that means, but it's going to be awesome.
An itty bitty sandwich. Oh my gosh, you could make tiny food.
Oh my God, this is Holly's dream.
I didn't hear that part.
There's also details on the Spider-Man ride, which, holy crap, this sounds lame.
Why do you think it sounds lame?
It's Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. It's Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin with
Is
Spider-Man.
that what it is?
That's 100. You're going to shoot web shooters.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
I didn't hear that part.
And the story is Peter Parker's testing these spider droids, and they break out, and you have to go help him collect all of them. It's Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, and you're going to shoot web.
That's underwhelming, especially when Universal already has such a great Spider-Man attraction.
I don't know why you even bother doing this. He's out of the MCU now.
Yeah.
Like, this should just...
But this was planned well before that, I'm sure.
This should just not happen.
Maybe it'll get scrapped.
It's not. Well, they would have
announced it.
Well, they've already built the building. Like, they're doing it. Like, this is just... It's one of those things. You should just put in Ant-Man and the Wasp, the one from wherever it is. I keep forgetting where things are overseas because I don't really pay attention to those parks, but I know it's over there somewhere. Is it Hong Kong, Shanghai? One of the two. Mm-hmm. Wherever it is. I'll be corrected. Oh, actually, how do you do a Disney podcast and not know where Ant-Man? Shut up. But there's also going to be a brand new e-ticket attraction on the second side where you're going to be able to board one of the twin engine shuttles. I forget what they're called.
Yes, and it looks...
and you're going to fly to Wakanda.
But like, it's not like Smuggler's Run fly.
It looks like Smuggler's Run to me.
They said it's going to be like immersive, like, what's the other one? Rise of the Resistance.
Who said that?
That's what they were saying. It's a ride vehicle. Like, you're actually moving through show scenes.
Is it?
Yes.
I missed that, I guess.
Yes.
Let's see. This is what Blog Mickey... Thanks, Mike. Oh, I meant what his name said. Whoops. Thanks, Blog Mickey. Is it on there? It says it on there. It says it? Okay.
Written by.
Does it say... Let me go check because I might have to edit this out.
It says it at the top.
It does, okay. Thanks, Mike, from Blog Mickey.
Thank you for putting a recap together so quickly.
Yes, thank you. It says, as Superhero continues to assemble both campuses, one of the iconic buildings in California will be the Avengers headquarters. The building will become the future entrance to a brand new e-ticket attraction where guests will fly alongside the Avengers in an epic adventure to Wakanda and beyond when it opens in the next phase of development. Cool.
I'm excited.
Marvel Land sounds underwhelming to me.
How long before you think we see that? 5 years? Like Galaxy's Edge level?
I don't think so.
For that attraction I'm talking about.
I'm going to say 2 to 3. Okay. It's just one attraction. It's not a whole land. They've already got the land going. Let's move on to some of the Epcot stuff. This is a lot to get to. Like, I feel like this panel was primarily focused on Epcot. I'm going to let you take over Epcot. Just scroll down through the announcements. First off, the announcement of the new logo, which is amazing.
We love it.
It's the old logo, so it's not really a new. It's the new old logo.
And then this is something you were not too fond of. So Epcot, formerly Future World and World Showcase, has now been transformed into World Showcase, being left alone, but 3 additional neighborhoods for a total of 4. Which I don't like that we're trying to keep up with this world. Whatever. So there's going to be World Discovery, which is over by Test Track, Mission Space.
It's really dumb because the world is smaller than a universe, as Universal like to tell us.
And then World Celebration, which is Imagination Pavilion, Spaceship Earth, that like core through the middle. And then World Nature, which is Land Pavilion, Nemo, eventually Moana. What do you think of the names?
So I'm torn on this because I think it's stupid. I think it's dumb to change up the naming of Future World, but I also used to work at Epcot, so I know how it's hard explaining to a guest, hey, it's in Future World East. And like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
So now if you go like, as we walk in, it's on the, it's kind of it's one of those things where it's like, I get it, but I don't like it.
So do you think it really was Future World East, Future World West? And just kind of distinguishing.
Pop
I didn't
quiz.
think about that.
Which side of the park is Future World West on? If you're walking into
Test Track?
See, I don't even know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm literally guessing.
I think it's Test Track side.
It's West, yeah.
Future World East. That was the name of one of
Which that's confusing. You can't tell a guess, like you said. Oh, go to East.
Especially when it's opposite. If you walk in and you're going south. Yeah. I don't know. I get it, but I think it's one of those things that people are just going to keep calling it Future World.
We're looking for the World Discovery Center. Oh, okay. But
I don't know. It's fine. It's one of those things. We'll adjust. It's just jarring because it's new, but we'll get used to it.
Yes. All right. How do you feel about so Spaceship Earth is going to be getting a refurb. They mentioned a lot of the original show scenes will be staying in. They're just adding a storyteller star.
The guiding light. What is it called?
Guiding light. That's what. Yes. So it's a new narrator. New scenes are being added. Didn't really give on too much about that. But it's closing in September. They didn't even say how long it's going to take.
I can't wait to ride this again because it's going to be very different. I see a lot of people freaking out because
they change this every couple of years. Do you remember last time when they had the classrooms at the end?
Yes,
the different ways of learning? Mm-hmm. That was the last time they changed it.
It's been a long time. That's like 15, 20 years ago.
Was it really?
It has to be.
I remember that. Wow.
I don't know exactly, but I'm guessing it's a long time ago because I was a kid when I saw it last. So yeah. I don't know when it has been.
This can't take more than a year or two to do.
Depends on how in depth they go. But people were kind of freaking out because they do show the grandmother from Moana.
Yes.
And I wonder if she's the guiding light.
That would just be such a random shove it
Because
like
they brought
tie-in.
it. Is it though? Because Moana's going to be in the park.
Yeah. And
I think
grandma's.
I'm all for IPs and stuff in the parks. I'm not one of those people who are like, no IPs, no IPs. Because if that was the case, you wouldn't get Galaxy's Edge, you wouldn't get this Avenger stuff. Like, shut
Right.
up. That's stupid. That's a dumb thing to say. It's all about how you execute it. I think there are certain things, however, that just need to be Epcot. And I think Spaceship Earth, the icon of the park, should just be Epcot. Oh my God. That pisses me off. That
So I'm looking at
pisses
the
me
concept
off.
art for the new like fountain in front of Spaceship Earth, which I hope Spaceship Earth is rainbow like this. That is so cool.
I don't like it.
And there's people, which this is the most accurate. They're showing people taking selfies on
God.
cell phones.
That pisses me off
These
so
people
bad.
too.
That makes me so angry that like in
Wow.
okay, so think about all the classic Disney
But it's
concept art.
accurate.
Think about all the classic Disney concept art when you see people like on Autopia, those like classic
Mm-hmm.
Epcot attractions. In 25, 30 years, we're going to get a book of Epcot concept art of this stuff, and it's going to be like, remember when we used to take selfies before the chip was on our brain?
But
I
that's
hate
the
it.
year we're,
I guess
the
it's
world
time
we're
capsule,
living
but
in.
it's so stupid that like they're focusing on it. He even said something earlier on the Target stuff about the Instagrammable stuff, and it's like,
They
why
know-
is that a focus?
That was the one big
It's
thing
fine.
they touched on for the 50th was a lot of new food and merchandise.
I get it that like there's influencers and stuff on
Yeah.
Instagram, but like that shouldn't be a focus. You should make really good food that looks cool because it looks cool, and then
And
once
tastes
someone
good.
puts it on Instagram, it's popular because like a Dole Whip, it's Instagrammable, but it wasn't made that way. It's
simple.
just good,
Right.
And people like it, and like you don't have to make something Instagrammable for social media. Social media is not the focus on this stuff. Like it drives me insane. Like for him to say that pissed me off.
Yeah. Now this
I sounded
next
really negative today.
This next story, I was a little confused because JPEG kind of went through it really fast. But the new pavilion
You
that's
talking
going
about
to
Bobby
be yes, the new pavilion that's going to be the home base for like festivals. And he was like,
Yeah.
level 1 this, level 2 you're going to have your festival center, level 3 you can just look at the park and
It's a
see
new
the nighttime
It's a new
spectacular.
pavilion.
He called it a pavilion, but they didn't show where it's going.
This was part of the presentation where I was like literally digging through stuff and like tweeting stuff and
They just
reading.
breezed
and it was
over
very
that.
quick. It reminds me of like the Men in Black stuff, kind of.
Yeah, it looked
The
more
world's-
like the
the
House
world's-
of Tomorrow kind of looks like.
Yeah, I really, 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 really like the look of it though. It looks really cool.
They're calling it a pavilion. No idea where it's going to be, but
No name for it.
nope.
Future Port.
Yeah, just
If it's got a fireworks view, they should call it Future Port.
Future Port. I like it.
I like it.
Oh, I'm sorry. They did give a name for it.
Oh, they did?
World Celebration.
That's okay. I like that.
But where is that? Like, I can't. You're going to have a view of Spaceship Earth.
We're gonna play a game at the end of this, and I'm gonna see. We're gonna play a fun game.
And now from World Celebration, you can see one of my favorite announcements from this, which is Dreamer's Point.
Wait a second. So is that the exit of Spaceship Earth then?
No. So, Dreamer's Point. Do you want to talk about what's going to be there?
Yeah, bring it up. And this is the exit of Spaceship Earth, right?
I don't
Dreamer's-
think so because it
I thought
looks
that's how
too
he said it.
far.
No, not this. I'm talking about the next thing we're going to talk
Dreamer's
about.
Point?
Yeah.
Okay, so Dreamer's Point is going to be filled with gardens, a wishing tree, a new interactive fountain, and a statue celebrating none other than Walt Disney.
I love
which
it.
it's about time.
I love it.
But I've been seeing a lot of people, and I don't really agree with this because I don't feel like Mickey's a main focus of Epcot. I know he's big overall, but they're saying they wish Mickey was with him.
I don't think so.
I think this is more about Walt, this park.
I agree.
So
It's about celebrating his legacy in the park.
exactly. So it's cool. It looks like it's something you'll be able to go and take pictures with. It's kind of
That's gonna have a line. Maybe they'll do a fast pass for it.
yeah. It's just Walt sitting on a staircase that just kind of looking over the park.
I like it.
Disappointed that's
Look-
not what he wanted. Sorry, I had to
Oh, it's hilarious.
yeah.
Oh my god, that's funny. Okay, what's next?
Up next is The Journey of Water, inspired by Moana, which I just want to say they went the first night. They were like, Moana attraction coming, da 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 da, and now it's this area that's just inspired by Moana. So it's not quite what I was expecting it to be.
Yeah.
A little misleading.
I would say misleading because they consider Cinderella's castle an attraction. So attraction is
Right.
anything in the park.
Okay.
So I think ride should be distinguished versus an attraction.
This is just going to be a trail.
It looks like a walk through, like, think
A
of like
trail.
the leaping frog fountains and put Moana with it.
But I feel like this would have maybe fit better in Animal Kingdom.
Nah, I like it at Epcot.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Because we don't have anything really like that at Epcot.
I can hear the keyboards of Epcot dorks yelling at me.
No.
I don't know. I don't. This is one of those things that's going to be cool to see. It's going to be interactive, and I don't really have a comment on it.
It'll just be a nice tranquil area.
Yeah, it sounds nice. It sounds nice and kind of refreshing, or like a different type of thing for Epcot.
Yes.
Which is really, really cool. I'm checking Twitter. I'm sorry. There's like questions and stuff that we're going to get at the end of the show.
Dan talked more about the Awesome Planet movie coming to the Land Pavilion. Don't really care
Yawn,
about
don't
that.
care.
We never watched the other one. And then World Discovery is what's going to be replacing Future World East. And they announced the name of the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, which is the first backwards launching roller coaster.
Yep. Star Wars. Guardians
No
of the
information
Galaxy.
on the opening.
No information on the opening. Guardians of the Galaxy something
Cosmic
Rewind? Cosmic Rewind.
Which I
Rewind.
like that.
I do too. It's great.
It's very Guardians.
It is very Guardians. No details on the attraction itself.
A few pictures.
But nothing like telling you what the storyline is or anything like that.
Very excited.
Well, I guess
for
no,
that.
they did. They said like you're gonna. No, that was Star Wars. Never mind.
Yeah, just the backwards launch.
No. They did say something about like you're going to see the planet above you, and then when the Guardians of the Galaxy show up, things don't happen. Something goes horribly wrong. It'll
I
be
like
fun.
that they're not going into too much detail about that.
It's got time.
And then
That building is so
a
big.
couple doors down, they called it, which they've never said this before, an expansion of the Mission Space Pavilion.
I had heard that it was
The
an expansion.
restaurant Space 220. Because you're 220 miles up from Earth.
Yeah, cool.
Which I cannot wait for this restaurant.
I'm gonna
I know
have a heart
you're
attack.
You're not the
It's gonna be a
biggest fan
good
of
test
space.
for the Star Wars hotel to see if I can handle that.
Yes.
I get terrified of space. I had space wallpaper in my room as a kid, and I used to look at it and get freaked out just from looking at the wallpaper and be like, "What if I was floating through space?" Stupid. I'm a weird kid.
So this will be interesting, but it's operated by the Patina Group, which is Via Napoli, Tutto Italia, Maria and Enzo's, all places we like.
They called it Space 220 American Grill or something like that. American
Space
food.
220.
There was an after to that. I remember because I was like another restaurant with a food title in the name.
I don't know.
Check for me.
Let's see.
I'm excited about this. They say you board like a elevator and it looks like you're going up towards space, and you dock and you kind of go in this restaurant and you can see different
Yeah, I like
things.
that there's a whole experience.
It looks really, really cool. This is for sure going to happen. We're going to this opening day. I want to do this. I will definitely be there on opening day. So.
I was hoping they'd announce when like restaurant reservations would open or anything like that.
They didn't even announce an opening date yet. They said this year.
It's just a
He
Space
said this
220
spring.
Restaurant. The picture says Space 220 restaurant.
It does? I thought I said something else. No, I'm not
Space
crazy?
220 restaurant.
Okay. I thought I remembered it saying like American food. I don't know.
No.
Okay.
And they said this winter, which...
He said on stage this spring.
Did he?
Yeah, there was
Wow.
there was something he said this spring, but it's summer. It's almost over.
Yes. So
I think it
I'm
was this
super
one.
excited for that. That'll be something.
Me too. I'm curious to see what the menu is.
We also know one of our close friends has seen previews of the screens that
Yes.
we'll be using for that. So
Yes,
that's
yes.
very exciting.
I'm
I've heard
curious.
it's-
Have you
He's
heard
got
it's
a pretty
good?
high bar set
Really?
in this world, so it's very exciting that he said this was impressive.
Really? Okay. Interesting.
So
I can't wait to see
it's
this.
probably going to be the same people that are doing the screens for Star Wars Hotel, I would assume.
Would imagine. It's the same kind of
So.
thing. A viewport.
But bouncing back between Guardians and Mission Space, the Play Pavilion opening in time for the 50th anniversary.
No surprise here.
So
no
is
details.
this kind of... We watched a video recently about what was that
What is it
building
like?
called? Yes. I didn't realize that they had all that interactive stuff or like the workout machines and all. Is this kind of a throwback because this is going to be that kind of stuff again?
I don't know. They said one thing I thought was pretty interesting. They said you're going to be able to interact with characters both real and virtual. And they showed Wreck-It Ralph. I don't know. This is very, very Epcot. I mean, for all the stuff
Right.
that people are giving it crap about, like it's very possible that you could go and like virtually ride old attractions. Like
Yeah.
that would be freaking
But
cool.
they're also... Are they also doing in Wonders of Life is where they're going to put the display of what's coming in Epcot? Where are they putting that?
I have no idea.
Because remember
remember.
that yesterday where they showed the...
My brain is mush at this point. It's been too much.
Which makes me think, when are they going to be able to put... I don't know. I'll have to find out about that.
I have no
But
idea.
They're putting some sort of display that you can go see what's coming to Epcot.
Oh, cool. like a preview center. That's awesome.
Yes, and I thought that was going to be the
I doubt
wonders of life.
It's definitely not in there because they're already doing construction. There's seeing people going in and out, and they're doing construction. I doubt that happens there.
I have to see if I can find this.
Anyway, we can move on to the next story. We'll look for that later.
Okay. Anyway. Okay.
This is great radio.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I wanted to see it. Okay. Up next is the thing that you're really excited about, Cherry Tree Lane.
Yes,
What's
very
gonna be
excited.
there?
A new attraction, maybe. They didn't give us any
Perhaps.
details, but it was a cool part of the presentation where Dick Van Dyke came out and they did the step in time, and I feel like they could have not done the step in time dancing and just
Yeah, that was unnecessary.
oh, God. I hate that kind of stuff.
That's all you needed to say.
But they didn't announce what it was, where it's going to go. Nothing.
No.
So who knows what this is going to be? The rumors speculating that it's going to be like a carousel, but like a virtual reality carousel.
I'm hoping
or
more like
augmented
a
reality.
ride. Like
It's not going to be a ride.
Like Ratatouille.
It's
You
not
don't
gonna
think
be
so?
Nope.
There's not enough room there.
Nope.
Going back to my last point, that's going to the Odyssey Center.
I don't care. It's a Mary Poppins attraction. I'm all in. Odyssey Center. That makes more sense.
Yes.
I'm all in on a Mary Poppins attraction, no matter what it is. Even if it is a carousel with like screens, so you see different things, and I don't care. Just call it the Jolly Holiday. That's all I want.
That's what you want it to be
It's
called?
just throwback to Tony Baxter's original attraction that he had planned for it. If they don't call it Jolly Holiday, I'm going to be pissed.
Where was that supposed to go?
I think Disneyland, and it was like a attraction where you like get on a carousel horse, and it's kind of like Peter Pan.
Maybe
So
that's
it's
what this is.
So it's like suspended, and you kind of like ride through on
That's
the
cool.
carousel. Well, it's kind of while it's going up and down at the same time, like
Maybe
in the
that's what
film.
this'll be.
It'd be cool.
We shall see.
It would be very cool.
So, moving along in the showcase, the China Pavilion's getting a new film entitled Wondrous China.
Yawn.
The first to be
I don't care about
presented
these
in
films.
360
I
digital format. I've never
don't
watched
care.
any of them.
Yep, I don't care.
And
I've seen
then-
France, and I've seen Canada, and I've seen
Canada's
China's.
getting a new one debuting in January,
Who cares?
which that will also be a food and wine stand during
I'm
Food
not
and
the
Wine.
person for Epcot. That's not my favorite park.
This sounds cute, though I'm not really a sing-along person. France is getting a new Beauty and the Beast sing-along in January 2020.
Yeah, this was already announced, but they're like elaborating on this.
And then, also coming to France, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, summer 2020, as well as a few new restaurants, including a creperie, which they specifically called out, but they're adding both table service and quick service.
They said that?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I didn't hear about that part.
Yeah. You didn't hear about the food part?
Nope.
Yes.
I heard about the creperie.
The whole
That's all I
new
heard.
area.
Mm-hmm.
Which
If you don't do Gusteau's, what are you doing? I keep seeing that in like the model and stuff. And if you don't do that, why even build the Remy stuff? For
and
real.
It's also the new food area is going to be operated by the same people that do Chefs de France, which we recently just ate at for the
So
first time.
good. Yeah, recently, like 5 months ago.
Was that really?
That was a long
That was
time
like
ago.
May. Oh my gosh.
It was not May.
Yeah, it was for Emmy's birthday. Yep, it was May.
Okay.
All right. First world problems of living at Walt Disney World. I'm going to let you talk on
I'm going
this
to do
one.
a new YouTube channel called Living at the Magic. So stupid. This was a very interesting out of left field thing, but I think this is going to go really, really well. A new mobile app called Disney Genie. And it's basically Disney's version of touring plans. And I don't know anything past that, but it is kind of interesting. Like I don't know anything about it, so it's kind of hard to speculate on what it is. I'm assuming it sounds like touring plans. What everyone's been saying on the internet. But I think this will be good for guests who like don't know anything. And I know we all live in the Disney bubble. And we can't imagine people not knowing my Disney experience and all that stuff. But there are people out there who do not know any of this stuff and are simply there for a once in a lifetime vacation. And they will never learn my Disney experience. They'll never figure any of that stuff out. And this is a good tool for them to use. So what are your opinions on like this Disney Genie thing?
Why don't we fix the app that we currently have? That's my first opinion on this.
I can't argue with that point.
As somebody that used to work in the world of the app, why don't we fix what we currently
As someone who launched the app,
Do you think this is eventually going to phase out MDX?
no, absolutely not. This is a completely different thing.
But they said you can
This
book
looks
dining
like-
and things in this. So what, I'm going to have to book it at MDX and go to Genie to look at my stuff? Like, that just seems pointless to have
didn't-
two apps.
I don't know. I think there's one like MDX is for people who are set. This is what you're doing.
Like the express version of Genie, whereas Genie
Yeah.
is like, I don't, I've never been here. I don't
I've never
know."
been here before. How do I manage
What's
this
the
stuff.
best time to try to get on this ride?
Yeah, I think it's what it's more
think
is.
this-
Who knows? But there's no details. So who knows? I have no idea. I don't even know. I really don't know anyone even working on this, so I have no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea this was a thing.
I had no idea either. Okay, let's move on
This
to the
is
next
something
one.
that could work at Disneyland too, as well, though. I know they said it's launching at Walt Disney World, but
Okay, on to resorts and such. So I'm gonna have you do this one because I surprisingly don't have any strong opinions on this.
this was the biggest letdown.
I know.
I think.
I think so too.
And you're all going to be very surprised when I say what this is, that Brad's agreeing with me on this.
I think at this point they know.
The Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. Why do we have to be on a cruiser? Why can't we be on a base?
Yeah, here's my thing. This would have been my pitch. Like, if you're already going so the story of this is like you go into the Star Wars universe and you're on like a cruise ship in Star Wars, which
The Halcyon?
yeah, which why are there? I mean, unless you're like leaving from Canto Bight, like what is the point? But if you were leaving from Canto Bight, you wouldn't be going to a remote planet like Batuu. So it's fundamentally doesn't make any sense in the Star Wars universe. It just doesn't make any sense. What they should have done is they should have made this an experience where you board a resistance transport ship and your story plays out in the hotel and on Batuu and tied stuff in from Batuu to the hotel. This sounds boring. There's only one thing about this that I was like, ooh, that sounds fun.
The lightsaber training.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and tell everybody what is going to be involved with this.
So Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser called the Halcyon. It's a 2-night, 2-day adventure. So not like a cruise where it would be 3 days, 2 nights, which is kind of strange. So you check
And
out
this
that.
further invalidates WWE News Today with their 2-day experience, 3-day experience. You guys got to stop listening to those people. Stop retweeting them. Stop anything. They're full of crap, and they know they're full of crap, and they get away with it because no one says anything. They're lying when they say they have information. They don't.
So it sounds like it's going to be like a cruise where they have special activities planned for you. And then one of those activities includes what they call the Spaceport Day on Batuu, which are you still going to have to buy a ticket on top of paying
Of course you are.
$300 a person?
It's not going to be that much.
Or however much it is.
I think you're going to do like a cruise ship. You're going to rent the room, and all your stuff's going to be included. So if that does happen, then yeah, I bet you it probably is about that per
Yes.
room.
So
I would say probably $1,500 to $2,000 a person, which is still unbelievably insane for 2 days.
that's outrageous.
But if it's
I'll do a cruise.
I'd rather do this. If this is more immersive than any other experience, like if it tells a story that's interesting to me, I'm going to want to do this. You know what I mean?
But backing up. When you first arrive at the resort, you go through a launch pod, which you get transported into space. That's a big piece.
They also said that everybody will, like a cruise ship, everybody will join in together. Like everybody goes in at the same time. Did you
So
catch
you have
that?
to wait for everybody to get there.
I
Do you
guess.
think you're going to have like a arrival time?
I'm sure.
Like you have to be here
By a certain time.
So
Yeah.
from
Did you
there,
catch
you'll
that?
step into the main atrium, which is where they showed the stormtroopers and generals and admirals and Chewie and just people interacting. Just note from this point forward, there's no real windows, which freaks me out. I'm not claustrophobic, but you are.
I'm very claustrophobic. It kind of freaks me out too. I'm wondering. That's why I'm wondering about the space restaurant. How I'm going to feel.
Yes. Even in your cabin, nowhere is there going to be a real window. You're going to have to leave, which every time you leave, you're going to have to go through that spaceport chamber.
I would imagine. I mean, it's going to have to like you're disembarking, right? Like when you get off a cruise ship, you don't just appear.
Yeah.
And how's that going to like? If you're there, are you allowed to go to Magic Kingdom?
Right.
Because that's going to be very strange.
Or are they going to be like, what's Magic Kingdom?
Where are the refreshers? It's not even what they're called on the land. You're full of crap.
But yes, also kind of what looked like a batting cage, but with lightsabers. You can go through lightsaber training.
You just completely underwhelmed and undersold that. Like if you want to sit in batting cages and that was the most
It looks
lackadaisical
like that.
thing.
Look, it looks like it.
No, it doesn't look
Yes,
like
it
a batting
does.
cage.
Okay, well.
Oh,
Yeah, it kinda does.
Jesus, Obi.
Yeah.
That makes me angry when you
Okay,
said
and then
that.
you can bop around the ship, and there's secret hidden areas and trails, and they show kids climbing out of the wall.
Wait, what? Did I miss this?
Yeah, the
Let me
last
see.
picture they showed with the kids coming out of the wall.
I don't remember this. I remember the person with like a key looking thing.
I don't have a picture on here, but it was the last one.
No.
But also in your room, you will not have real windows. Every cabin has a view of the galaxy. Discover hidden spaces, yes.
That sounds interesting. Ooh,
Yeah.
hidden spaces. I don't know. It all depends on the story they're telling. For me as a Star Wars fan, if it's a compelling story, I would be interested. If it's just a way to feel like I'm in Star Wars for a few minutes, I'm not interested.
That's what's gonna be.
I want it to be. No, I think there's gonna be a story element to it. I think it has to be. If you don't do a story element to it, I feel like that's kind of strange. I'm looking at this. I don't. Okay, I saw this because I saw this person with like a key or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said there's like only parts of the ship you can like explore, and like you can even go to like the command deck. And I don't know. I was talking to Dallin from Offhand Disney about this when it was happening.
Was he underwhelmed?
He's like, I'm super excited because it looks like Galaxy's Edge. I'm like, yeah, it does, but like, is that?
Do you think the food's going to be as weird as Docking Bay 7? Because
I hope it's better than Docking Bay 7 because Docking Bay 7's not good.
No. It's a little too eccentric.
It's very strange food.
So
I wouldn't even say eccentric. I would just say bad.
But still no timeline on when that's going to open, which was interesting. I thought we would have gotten something about that.
Are we missing anything else? Was that it? The Walt Disney 50th logo was announced. There was not really much on that. I've watched the...
That's pretty much it.
Is that it? That's all the news? That's it? I feel like there was more.
Cirque du Soleil, but...
We talked about that. It took up too much time. Whoops. That's the video I was watching. That was the Rise of the Resistance footage, which we did confirm. That lightsaber does come from the top.
Okay.
Confirmed.
The new Disney cruise ship, which I'd much rather go to Lighthouse Point than the Star Wars
Oh,
Hotel.
that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's what we were getting to. I knew there was something we were missing.
Yes. Joe Rohde is spearheading this project of the new island that Disney purchased near the Bahamas because he talked about Junkanoo, right, and all the festivals.
Yeah, this what I was talking about up front, where I said something that I knew was happening, the second island.
Yeah.
But it's implemented in such a different way. He made a point to say this is not a recreation of a Jamaican island. This is a Jamaican island.
Bohemian
where you're gonna have
Island, I thought.
Bohemian? Yeah, you're right. Bahamas. Sorry, whoops. Bohemian Island. It is. You are on a Bohemian Island, and it's going to feel like you're on a Bohemian Island, not a tourist trap, which sounds awesome.
With this in Rohde's hands, I have no doubt that this is going to be awesome.
Yeah, this is very surprising to me. I'm surprised at the level of detail because Disney very easily could have just bought it and put up a Dole Whip stand, and people still would have gone and paid for it. Yeah. And I think them doing something extra with it is really, really a smart move.
Yes, make it different. Make people want to go on a cruise to that different island.
Uh-huh.
And then, actually, to jump around again, they talked a little bit about Reflections, that it's going to be based on nature-based movies, which I saw. My girl Pocahontas is going to be in the lobby. And I didn't tell you this, but I saw concept art that the presidential suite is going to be Pocahontas.
Oh, very cool.
And then some of the other rooms are Fox and Hound themed. Bambi is another room theme. I forget what else I saw, but what was the thing you were most excited about there? The restaurant?
The Princess and the Frog themed restaurant. That is one of my favorite Disney films of all time. It's in my top
gorgeous.
5. It's an amazing film, and it looks awesome. And I hope they don't. Do you think they're gonna do Tiana's Place?
No.
Well, what else do you do?
Just a Princess and the Frog theme restaurant.
How?
But
it's the whole movie's about food.
Do you think that they're gonna play that? Because her restaurant was down on a bayou and everything, wasn't it, in the movie?
Yeah, that's why I thought it was a great idea. But like, why is that not at French Quarter?
Correct. Correct. Which when they have her themed rooms there too.
Yeah, I never understood. When I heard that, I was like, why is it not at like Riverside or French Quarter? Did Bob Chapek forget that they have that?
Maybe.
Let's see. I'm going through Twitter here for the listener questions.
You spelled Mary Poppins wrong a lot on your Twitter.
Yeah, I was. You saw how fast I was doing this. Like I was typing it as he was saying it. I apologize for all the typos and crap that was on my feed, but it is what it is. Okay, not really many questions. There's a lot of comments. This comes from at Gia DLP, Raphael SC. Why wasn't Brazil announced? One of two reasons: either it's not happening, or it is a bad timing to be announcing a Brazil pavilion right now with like all the stuff that's going on with like the rainforest fires and stuff.
I don't think it's coming.
You don't?
I really don't think it's coming.
I think it's coming. I think it's a no-brainer.
It's
almost too obvious that it might not happen.
Like that was the covered poster, the covered poster on the thing was World Celebration.
Oh, that's so cool.
How random to just do one of. But that's
it's a new pavilion. I'm all in. I like it.
Yep. I was surprised no word about Coco in Mexico. I really thought that was going to be a thing.
Yeah, I think all the really obvious stuff they're not going to do because it's too obvious. Like why would they do that?
Yep.
I didn't think Coco was happening.
You thought it was happening.
Did I put up my article for D23 that I thought was happening?
I don't think so.
I don't think I did. Okay, this question comes from at Rudio87, and he asked, "Do you think Walt Disney Imagineering, I don't know, slash TDA? What is that?
What? Slash
TDA?
What? I have no idea.
Disney, I don't know, okay. Do you think Walt Disney Imagineering are stuck creatively and financially with Disneyland? Yes. There's not enough space to do all the things that they probably want to do with Disneyland. I don't think you could make that property a resort just because of how expensive that land would be to buy up. With being in California. So I don't think they're stuck financially or creatively. I think they're stuck space-wise. Yeah. Oh, there are some questions here. Okay. This comes from at Mercurial Moose, Dan Taylor. Thoughts on the lack of Figment / Journey to Imagination during the Epcot segment? Are they setting up the Imagination Pavilion to be removed / rethemed? No. It's going to say like it is because Figment sells a lot of merchandise. And if you don't have that character in the park, kids aren't going to connect to it. And
Which he brought him up, but then never touched on it again.
Did he?
Yeah, remember you were like, are they going to bring Dream
Oh,
Thunder back?
yeah. He's like, and Figment. And I was like,
Yep.
oh, here we go. That is such a small thing that they could do that would make Epcot fans so happy.
Yep.
I don't get why they wouldn't do that.
I don't know.
Are you excited about the Animal Kingdom announcements? What Animal Kingdom announcements were there?
What did they announce at Animal
I don't think they
Kingdom?
announced anything. Is that like a facetious joke?
That was, yeah, that's the only part they didn't touch on.
Thoughts on naming, this is from Evan T. Boucher, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name, Evan, sorry. Thoughts on naming the parts of Epcot neighborhoods? I would touch on that a little bit. I think it's stupid. I think it's unnecessary evil. Do you? I don't. You know why I don't like it? Let me tell you why I don't like it. When I was growing up in Concord, North Carolina, there's a little mall called Concord Mills that everyone goes to. And every parking entrance is neighborhood and number. So
yeah,
it's
you're
like
right.
you're
I
now,
forgot
and
about
you'd
that.
walk in, and it would now entering neighborhood 6. You are now entering neighborhood 6, and it just
So you have a personal
hate
vendetta
it.
against
I don't like it. It sounds like a tourist trap to me. Okay, we're going to try something new here on the show. We've done it a few times before, not a lot, but we're going to try to take some live Skype calls on the show. This could be a disaster. This could be great. We're going to see what happens. So hang tight. So Skype didn't work. I don't know what's going on. So was not able to take any of the calls. I don't know what's happening. I don't know how this is working. Like the sound, I can hear things coming from my laptop to the mixer, but it doesn't sound right. So I'm gonna have to try this again at another date, and we're gonna try this again. So, like I said up top of the show, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, August 29th. Walt Disney World in Orlando. Come. I'll be there. We'll be doing podcasts. There's going to be a lot of us there. It's going to be fantastic. I know Rob Plays is coming. If you're like a big fan of Rob Plays, he'll be there. I'm pretty sure. I may have the wrong person, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be there. And we're going to have a good time. So come let me know what your thoughts are on Galaxy's Edge. After you do some stuff in the land, please don't tell me you hate the Millennium Falcon and have never been on it, because that drives me insane. But we will see you guys on opening day. You can follow me on Twitter at Views with Hughes and check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/parkviews with Brad Hughes. And that is it for this episode. I would really like to know your D23 thoughts. So go over on Twitter and hit me up and let me know what you think. I'm very, very curious to see how this went, because I feel like it's pretty divisive. Like I said, it's like the Last Jedi of panels. So thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you guys on the next show. Peace out. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Park Views with Brad Hughes. Thank you for downloading. I will see you guys next time. But before we leave, don't forget, follow me on Twitter and Periscope and Instagram at Views with Hughes, and rate and review the show on iTunes and Stitcher. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.